With MVX Plus, I have a PhD researcher. She finished her PhD classes and now she has to run a study. Her name is Susan. So she got inspired to start working with MVX Plus and use that as a metric. And she's going to measure like MVX Plus on 200 vegans and then 200 carnivores. That was the idea. And so that's a work in progress. But in her school, she was told, okay, when you get your idea, you have to form a committee of three professors, and they're going to help you with your study. So good luck. It's going to take 16 to 20 weeks to get your committee of three professors. So she had five professors in her mind. She emailed them one email to five professors. Within 1 hour, three of them responded. Within 2 days, she had the committee formed. That's my note right here. She got three professors in 2 days, not 4 to 5 months, just in 2 days. So that's because of MVX Plus being a new test, um, just being exciting and awesome. So that's just great news. Here's this person right here. When I saw the scores, overall score is 38, and glycase should be below 300. It's a little bit high. Small cell particles should be 19 or higher, so not very toxic, so that's really good. And then the metabolic malnutrition index should be in the 40s, and their score is 59. So why is it? Well, the citrate's a little bit high, valine's low, leucine is low, isoleucine is crazy low. So when I look at all these numbers, I'm thinking this person's malnourished. That's the main problem. So I recommended Maxi BCAAs, and she or he, I can't remember, started taking that and helped stabilize energy. Yeah, female. Her ups and downs of energy is stabilized. Her after work fatigue used to be 8 out of 10, but just adding in the Maxi BCAAs is now a 4 out of 10. So fatigue is much better, more focus, more physical energy. This is what she said. It's great, encouraging, self-motivating. Wants to eat better, exercise, it's positive reinforcement. And so she's inspired to like be healthy because she feels better, which is kind of a big deal. Because when people don't feel good, they don't necessarily want to take action, even though they know it's right. But when, here adding in branched chain amino acids, it's like that's what changed her around. Eat three proteins a day. She had been exercising a bit less, but regardless, she lost a couple more pounds. Her schedule was a bit tight with the exercise being down. So that's how it's an example of MVX Plus being totally awesome. Here's a person demanding a parasite cleanse, but look at her. I know it might be small, but I'll read it. Glycase is 317. Not too bad. We want to be below 300, but her small molecule particle number is 12.7. That should be 19. And then her MMX is 69. Her diet's off. She's deficient in protein. And I told her, like, eat more protein and we have to detoxify your body. But no, she wants a parasite cleanse. Why does she want a parasite cleanse? Because that's what we did in the past and it was successful. But just because of that doesn't mean that you need to do it again, like a hardcore parasite cleanse. So this is an example of MVX Plus putting us on the right path. Go down this path, not the one that you're used to, not the one that you're comfortable with. We got to switch gears. This is a person that so his branched chain amino acids are low. Not too bad. But the citrate's too high at 2.4. So his MMX is 57. It should be in the 40s. He's got some inflammation and infection with the glycate being high at 391. And then he's not very toxic at all, which is amazing. I'm very happy about this. So I'm thinking, okay, he's got to get rid of some organisms and infection or inflammation, and his nutrition's off. But his main concerns with his symptoms is swelling of the ankles up the shins, up to his knees for about 2 months. And he's early 60s, very large man, not super overweight. He's got a belly. He's probably 230 pounds, 240. And I'm thinking heart, right? That's what we think. Heart, heart. congestive heart failure. If he saw an MD, regular MD, whatever, I don't, they would do stuff that wouldn't fix anything. So when you put that together, the symptoms and then the MMX being high, he needs B1. I had him on B1 last year, but not Thiamega. Thiamega is four different versions of B1 put together in one pill. That's been my favorite. So what was it? 6 weeks ago, I put him on, or maybe 7 weeks ago, I put him on Thiamega. He came back last week and all the swelling is gone out of his ankles just from B1. Amazing. Totally amazing. So his amino acids went up. They went up a little bit too high. But look at his MMX. It went down from 57 to 46. Now it's in the 40s. I'm happy with that. And we can now kind of shift gears and do some more work on the glyca. It's just amazing. It's just a miracle. Like I was so happy when he said, "Yeah, my swelling's gone." I was like, "Do you realize like every single person with congestion, water retention in their feet, ankles, they're given the diagnosis of, could be kidney issue, could be heart issue, could be whatever. A lot of them just need B1. There's many reasons for the swelling of the ankles. Okay, this is another doctor's patient. So notice this scores July 21, and then this is a month later. So this patient is a male. Overall score got worse, went from 31 to 39. Inflammation up 5 points. Glyca up, even though it's below 300, it's up. Small molecule particles drop zero point 0.9. MMX worse. Citrate better. Valine still high. Leucine got worse. Isoleucine got worse. A lot of things got worse. Here's from the doctor's email to me. I've been running MVX tests on clients and just got a follow-up result. Looks like adding Thiamax, which is B1, has brought up the citrate numbers, but everything else has gotten worse. This patient has chronic bad breath, slower bowel movements, although he goes at least once a day. Will often not sleep through the night and reports feeling meh. He and his wife have a fairly solid diet, raw milk, organic grain milled at home, grass-fed, grass-finished animal protein, eggs. Sounds great. His current nutrition programs include these supplements, the greens, there's perfect aminos, mitochondrial support, male hormone support, Ellerplex to clear out the lungs, Circuplex for circulatory system, HMT binder for detox, and there's the Thiamax, and then the Para 3 in the water pick to normalize the oral microbiome. Would love insight on where to go next. Should I increase Thiamax and add digestive enzymes? Blah, blah, blah. Continue to work on digestion, add a binder, blah, blah, blah. And here's my response. There is something missing. I don't, she said she needs to tell me something. Like there's a major reason why this got worse. And it's not because of taking one binder. Like that won't make it worse. One binder. Thiamax won't make it that much worse. One a day. And so that's what I emailed to her. Like, there is something missing. And I gave examples, a dental procedure, a new prescription drug, physical trauma, like he fell down or had a car accident. Does he feel better or worse when detoxing? Like when did you start the HMT binder? Does he feel better or worse on the Thiamax? Here's her response. He did have a significant tongue tie release on August 20th. That's it. That's why his score is worse. Significant tongue tie release. So here's the toxicity showing up from that procedure, right? The small molecule particle number went down. The inflammation went up from the surgery, right? That's what it takes. And notice in my answer, my first response was it a dental procedure? Like something in the mouth. Okay. And then would that tongue tie procedure have been the impetus for such a major change? That is the only thing he can think of. And my reply, yes, definitely. So it's like MVX Plus, man, you're like a sage. You're like a wizard. You can figure stuff out. there can't be this much of a decrease in somebody's health without some kind of medical intervention, um, car accident, physical trauma, fall down, heavy detox. This is my last one. This is a guy that I talked about him before. He had a stroke a couple years ago, and he did a great job of reducing his glycate. He dropped it 200 points in 3 weeks. And so on June 23rd, his overall score was 34. And then two weeks ago, end of August, his score went up to 43. And his small cell particles dropped from 17 to 15. His MMX got worse, so his digestion's way off. And I asked him what happened. He fasted for 3 days before the blood draw. So he was in deep ketosis right here. I'm just showing you this because ketosis, I'm a fan, and you can't be fasting every day for the rest of your life because you will die. But in the meantime, while in ketosis, you can have some major changes in your body that are positive, killing cancer cells and reducing insulin resistance. Now, ketones were part of MVX Plus 3, 4 years ago, and they took the ketones out and they put in the amino acids. So the valine, leucine, isoleucine right there. So yeah, just eating protein and having enough of the amino acids is more important than having ketones, according to MVX Plus. And I love that statement. I'm a fan of that statement. I think it makes sense to me. Still want ketones sometimes.